So this was the first time getting to see Junior after a week left with my trainer. I had a couple of key takeaways that I wanted to talk about. This is just a short clip, but one of the main things that she really reminded and reiterated to me was feet first, hands second. So Junior's very sensitive and quick and athletic, different than other horses that I've ridden. And he actually intimidates me to really go to use my leg because he can scoot forward so much from it, and instead of rounding up and using his body properly, he will evade by going forward, kind of blasting. So it's made me a lot more, I guess, scared of using my leg the same way I confidently will on other horses. So that's one of the main things that I'm really just playing with here, is trying to change my mindset, my first reaction to be my leg again on him and just setting my hand. So that's something that we're working on here. We have some ugly moments. He was quite spooky. He finds a lot of reasons to, he's very busy looking around and everything. So anyway, he popped out a lead there. But one of the other concepts that I really wanted to touch on here that I learned was in our rundowns to focus less on how I shape things up on Whiskey now on a finish trainer. And on Junior, cornering is important, leading with the shoulder is important, but running straight down the pen and allowing him to get that freedom of running, which thereby adds some confidence. So those were some of the couple things that real quick here I wanted to touch on that we learned after just the first week in our lesson. This was some video that I was sent of Andrea riding Junior throughout the week. And in this clip you can see she's working on some circling. When I was able to go and have my weekly lesson, we were able to talk about the lead change, and I had asked if she had been continuing to work on that. And she said, she gave me some great enlightenment with it. She said that you can work on the setup, and especially a horse like Junior that's going to be easy to get the lead changes on because it's kind of wiggly and gumby, to only really actually work on the actual change like once a week at this point. But that working on the setup for it and building the strength in his back end is all going to be a good thing still. And then one of the other things that she had that we worked on was our rundown and going nice and long and allowing him to free up is basically the point of it. Not so much how far we slide or anything like that, but just giving him the chance to run nice and free and comfortable.
You nailed this couple stops today. That was you there, buddy. Oh, sorry. Right in your way.
One of the big takeaways that I had in my week 3 lesson on Junior was our rundown work. And you'll hear Andrea say to keep my feet out of him. What she means by that is keeping my lower leg open with no contact on him, and that allows him to run more free. And then I just will slap with my calf when I want to add a little bit more speed, but just to focus on keeping my feet more out of him.
Yeah, try not riding him with your feet so much. Get your feet out of him to run. What? Get your feet out of him to run. I don't want you to hold his belly because then he's going to beat you to the ground when you take it out to stop. Just slap him if you want more speed. There. Pick up your outside rein, push his shoulder right. There you go. Way better.
So I'm just leaving my house now to go pick up Junior. It's been a month at Andrea's, and today will be our last lesson as part of that month, and I'm also bringing Whiskey with me so we can get a lesson together. We haven't had a lesson since prior to July, our last horse show, so just taking off now. I'm excited to go and get my little bay boy and have both my horses at home again.
So you're gonna do your 1, 2, 3. It's not any different, but I haven't been changing him in the middle yet. I've been changing him off the counter canter when he gets soft. So you're gonna kind of do what you did to Wiz, where you're gonna make him stand up and change his arc, but hold that new inside leg on him and hold that number 2 position. Yep, hold that number 2 position. Only go into the counter canter, not from a figure 8, like over here in this corner right there. Start thinking about getting him in number 2 position and come across the long X. So you can hold. When he feels soft, bring that outside leg in. You've got to kick him kind of hard for that number. It's still the number 3 position. It's still isolating the hip and pushing it through. It's just off the counter canter, and you got to kick him a little harder than you think, because as squirrely as he is, he needs to know that you want that change. Very good. Oops. So when they do that, when they're so wiggly like he is and they can change behind like that, you have to actually turn the front end loose. You have to turn the front end loose. It's rare. It's rare that they change behind and not in front. Like Wiz will never do that to you because he's so stiff, but because he's so wiggly, he can. So you actually have to ask him to change and then let him have his shoulder the new way to change his shoulder with. Otherwise, he's just going to crossfire. More arc, more arc, more arc. There you go. There you go. Drive him up. Drive him up. Good. Drive him up. Very nice. So see how it's still exactly what you've always done? You're just taking the wiggly wiry away. You're holding him until he gets, almost for him, the soft spot is that he stiffens because he's not evading.
So I'm just really floored and so appreciative of all of the information that both I gained and Junior gained from just this 30-day training session at Andrea's. We were able to focus on so many things. I really enjoyed our weekly lessons. It was just fantastic.